Man,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I thought you'd like that. I thought you'd like that.
I was busy trying
that
to find
bulldoze looking a little red, almost like it belongs to the Rock and not Texas.
I was too busy trying to share the damn show. I missed the whole intro.
Oh.
It didn't pop up right away like normally. Like as soon as you go to refresh your feed, it's always the first one there. Yeah, not today.
Oh, well, that might be why. For some reason, it's not on my personal page. Well, that's tons of fun. Well, I guess
all that goodwill we fostered last week, George? You throw it right out the effing window.
Just whoop, that's it. Goodbye. And I was gonna say, peeps are definitely. It looks like we got somebody already checking in through the Dueling Aces page itself, so that works. At least we know it is working. As he disappears,
We had to go get more chips.
Right, I was gonna say, and it ended up going to get more chips and more dip. I'm sure. Like I said, those homemade chips.
I have a 4-quart bucket of salsa here that is homemade and chips. I'm actually going to go shut off the beef stew.
Alrighty. Man, I already had dinner, and that sounds good. I haven't had a good beef stew in a long time.
I had leftover lasagna, so that was filling.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, you can never go wrong with a good homemade lasagna.
No, Kelly, and especially when Kelly makes them, and I'm just like, I went to try to make one once, and I was like, nope. My wife does the baking for a reason. I will cook everything stovetop, no problem.
Or grill. You're the grill master.
And that's it. Anything to deal with that oven, I'll just leave it to Kel. I don't want to mess with it. I mean, I could throw like fries or potato wedges or like throwing pierogies and bacon.
I swear to you, as soon as I saw it said that he was watching, I knew there was going to be a smart ass comment to follow, and I was not disappointed whatsoever. Love you too, Jason.
Mr. Bennett, how you doing? That's awesome. Yep, did not take long whatsoever.
No, not at all. Not even 5 minutes into the show.
Nope, not even. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I feel the love.
Yeah, right. I'm going to jump right into that main rumor, or well, not so much of rumor, but the Chicago Bears have been fielding the phone calls.
I mean, did we expect this? I mean, we didn't. Was it really unexpected though? Because they got their quarterback in the future, and it's the quarterback draft this year,
right?
So you figure it's only a matter of like which team wants to get up and get what quarterback they want. Because at this point, where Chicago's picking, I mean, they have quite a few needs that they could just add the picks and drop, 6, 7 spots, even depending if they trade with Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Which is at 9, I think. You could drop as far as 9 and still get the guy you wanted if you wanted to pick at 1.
Need your help finding a piece.
Right.
The Bears trading out of number 1 makes sense and is dumb all at the same time.
Yeah, piece too good.
All right, I'm listening.
More of those.
So it makes sense because you could get more pieces later on. I mean, you could probably get a second or first this year. You're going to get a first this year, obviously, but you get a first next year and a handful of seconds and thirds, right? Like they're looking for a golf type trade. That's what they're looking for. However, However, if you don't trade, I'm not completely sold on Justin Fields yet. And I'm pretty sure most of the coaching staff isn't either. And you have Stroud sitting right there, who is probably the best Ohio State quarterback in a long time. I can see you rolling your eyes at him. I said in a long time. And then,
Well, no. I just think it's funny how I brought it up on the show before about he's the greatest quarterback in Ohio State history, but he never went to a Big Ten championship, never won a playoff game, and never beat Michigan. Just saying. But I agree. No, he is. He the talent is definitely there.
But you don't need to. You can turn around and not do all that and then go on and win Super Bowls. I mean, Patrick Mahomes didn't win squad at Texas Tech. He didn't win
with the amount of money that they're paying draft picks now and the amount of hype and unearned hype that they're putting on the quarterback position in some cases and artificially boosting these guys' numbers as far as draft prospects go. You don't need to win a Big Ten championship or an SEC title or a Pac-12 championship. You don't need to go to a playoff. If you go to, like, he's won a couple bowl games, that's enough.
And if Chicago does swap out with Indy, the 4 is not that big of an ordeal, and you're still going to get a whole bunch of future picks on top of it. Why not? I mean, especially when
honestly, I think the Bears
get the same guy up for.
I think the Bears are going to go with that Anderson kid out of Alabama, the linebacker or whatever, probably, or whatever he is. They're going defense, I would imagine, because obviously with trading Roquan Smith, they really don't have anybody on the defensive side that I can think of off the top of my head that stands out on the defensive side.
And Houston needs a wide receiver. They need a big play wide receiver.
Well, they can get that with the Browns pick.
At 12, Arizona, Seattle, Detroit, Vegas are all right there also looking at the same thing.
Yeah, but there's such a deep wide receiver class, though. You got Jordan Addison out of USC. You got the kid from TCU. You got Jackson Smith and Jigba, which I think that'd be a little too high to take him in the top 15. But
one of the Texas kids is coming out, too.
I don't think Worthy's coming out yet.
It wasn't Worthy. It was one of the other ones.
I know Robinson's coming out, the running back, and I'm hoping that Carolina gets him at some point.
Don't curse him with your torn Achilles.
No. We know why Christian had his issues. It's because Mike Akers drafted him with the first pick, whatever he had in 1 year, and that's when he had his injury year, was when Akers drafted him. So as long as Akers stays away from CMC, he's fine. But I mean, and here's a name to keep an eye on too. Is I'm hearing a lot more of this. I don't know much about the kid. I got to look up, do some research on him. It's the kid from Florida. For whatever reason, this kid is like starting to jump up the draft boards. Richardson from Florida, the quarterback. I don't think Will Levis is all that good. Kentucky.
Is he kneeling in the end zone and praising Jesus? Because that seems to be the thing for Florida quarterbacks.
No, this kid can run and throw. He's got a hell of an arm.
So he's Tim Tebow 2.0?
I think he's better than Tebow.
I don't think Tebow was all that good.
It was just his whole persona that was kind of like larger than life than his actual playing ability.
I think Tebow was a product of his system, much like Aikman with the Cowboys.
Yeah, because Tebow probably wouldn't have done that if he'd have been in any other system other than Florida's.
Maybe Auburn or Clemson.
But I mean, who do we think is going to be is there going to be a surprise team that jumps everybody and gets the quarterback, or are we thinking it's going to be the Colts that'll be probably the most likely since they don't really have anybody?
I was going to say it's got to be the Colts, and they're going to look and tagging Bryce Young. That's going to be pretty much the hit or the pick.
Could Seattle go quarterback?
I don't think so. Not after what they just had this year. I don't think they will.
Well, I'm just saying so that way,
especially for what Chicago wants.
Oh, here. Of course, he's got to throw the shot towards Michigan.
Clint, talk in complete sentences.
You can say what you want. I mean, Denard Robinson beat Ohio State too, so you want to go that route.
Really? A trainer already?
It's been quiet all day until I get on the air.
Clint starts typing, and I got to
I
pull
was
out
gonna
my
say.
Ebonics to Caucasian dictionary.
I think the receiver class is deeper than people give it credit for. I mean, it's not like obviously you have all the Ohio State receivers last year, but there's still pretty good wide receiver class coming out this year.
I think the draft class overall is a deeper class than last year.
It seems like there's a lot of good players. You really don't have like your. I mean,
See, they're
unless
not.
you, I don't.
I feel like you're still going to be able to get really solid, good every Sunday starters in the 4th and 5th and even into the 6th round.
Well, yeah, I mean, Purdy proved us wrong on that one this year. He surprised everyone.
Well, no, I mean, your linemen, linebackers, guys like that. I think you're going to be able to really get some studly players coming out of the
Later rounds.
yeah.
I know there. Sorry, guys. It looks like my internet is actually having some minor issues. I know that there were a bunch of fire trucks that headed off just slightly east of me about 30 minutes ago. So
Well,
don't know what's
somebody's
going
having
on down
fire.
in the VOL, but something's going on down in the VOL. That's for sure. So if it looks like
Just hang in there
doing the next.
Just hang in there until Zolt gets here, okay?
Yeah, all you gotta do,
right.
all you gotta do is stay put until Zolt gets here.
Yeah, just keep the connection until Zolt gets there.
Don't hate Chipper. Well, as they say, I'm on 4 networks now, so I got to upgrade the equipment.
Jesus.
I'm in high demand. I can't help
it. Yeah, they're the mock projection stuff. I know Zolt has a nice spreadsheet that has like 9 or 10 different ones. One I'm specifically just off SI story not until like 18 as far as which would right around Tampa Bay, Seattle, and the Chargers, and even Baltimore.
Speaking of Baltimore, speaking of Tampa, did you hear about the possible rumor who may be going there? There was a report. I should have shared it in the chat. But none other than Mr. Baker Mayfield.
To Tampa Bay? Wow.
And he'll battle. It'd be a him and Kyle Trask battle to see who'd be the starter. Yeah, I'm just saying. I had the same reaction when I read the article as well.
100%.
A battle.
Who bothered to use the word battle? Shame on.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Let me get out. Let me get out my Ebonics to Caucasian dictionary.
Yeah, brother, go ahead, man. Don't worry. You're going to see enough of me that you're going to.
Was you and me finished first, or I think me and Zolt finished first and second again in the race yesterday.
Oh, Zolt got back in it?
Yeah. Wait, you're Trey Lance for the win, right?
That's Zolt.
It's always got to be 49ers related, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's Zolt. That rotten. Yeah, like I said, I said it and forget it, which probably cost me. So,
let me see.
Yeah. So y'all was talking about you talking about Baker Mayfield going to Tampa?
That's what I read in an
Baker's
article.
actually
Yeah.
won yesterday.
Ooh, that's got to be killing you.
Yeah. Without that pile up on that restart, all my drivers finish in the top 5.
I mean, Baker wouldn't kind of be a bad fit there, though. It's just, I mean, what Baker are they going to get? The one that showed up, and did decent in L.A., or the one that was in Carolina at the beginning of the year?
The dangerous Baker.
See, you heard Baker Mayfield. I heard they might go a cheap route. I heard they might go with Jacoby Brissett, probably.
See, they could do that too. I keep forgetting he's out there.
The guy that everybody in Cleveland actually liked and wasn't doing half bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think no Brown fan have a bad thing to say about Jacoby Brissett. They shouldn't have a bad thing to say about Jacoby Brissett.
I could have a few bad things to say about some of the decisions he made on the field with a throw or two, but like as an individual and as a teammate, not a bad word.
Get him, Clint.
The only one I will get on him for was the Chargers game when like he had to run and touchdown and he like panicked.
And threw the interception.
Yeah.
Well, okay. What do we go?
I'm hoping Don goes to Tampa Bay.
Let's go through the list and try to make predictions on who goes where.
He go Tampa Bay. They'll suck.
Well, here's the thing. Where's Aaron Rodgers go?
If he doesn't retire.
I think he might retire.
Well, that's they were talking about.
I mean, he had 4
Green
whole days
Bay's
of
moving
just
on
pure
from him
darkness,
one
so
way or
whatever
the
that
other.
was called.
Yeah, well, their Green Bay has come out and said they're moving on from him. So he's getting traded or walking, one of the two.
Oh, walking to him the free agent.
He's getting moved. He's getting moved. It's right now. It's going to be like I said. Zolt's got the numbers on what that.
I have no jerseys
be
for my
if
Dalton
they have to let him
collection.
go.
I don't have nothing Dalton related.
Because I mean, Derek Carr, I'm just like, where is he going to end up? Is the biggest question.
And like I said, he already went and met with the Jets.
He met with the Saints.
Yeah, he met with a lot of people actually at the combine already. He's met with some folks at the combine, which is
a tough one for Derek Carr.
Washington would be a good fit for him, but they're going to go with what's his face, Howell.
I think he might go to the Jets.
And Washington, why you wouldn't have stuck with Heineke is beyond me. I have no idea.
They liked what they saw in one game from Sam Howell, apparently.
Heineke was always a bridge quarterback. He was always going to be a bridge guy.
No, he was playing well enough to be a starter.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the starter. So as far as I'm concerned, you find the correct system for him. It's just like Brett Favre. Brett Favre was supposed to be
Brett Favre. Brett Favre. I don't want to hear shit about Brett Favre.
Hey, remember, in Atlanta, he wasn't squat.
I don't care about Brett Favre in Atlanta.
Ta-da.
Is Geno's actually a free agent?
He can take his scam and wear for people retire somewhere else. For all like, you can do a 5 to 10 for all I care. I don't care about Brett Favre no more.
They're Seattle's talking with Geno to see what they can turn.
Yeah, they're gonna read. Yeah, Geno's gonna stay in
Seattle. He is a UFA, but yes, they are talking. And
I would give props to Geno Smith, another quarterback I used to crack jokes on, but he actually played good this year. You know.
So that is a big list of QBs.
Be cool.
Jimmy G goes where? Where does
it's not
Jimmy
a big
G
list.
Go? Where does Jimmy G go?
That's San Francisco.
No, he won't be.
Well,
just the North George.
John Lynch already turned around and said that that ship has sailed. So
Garoppolo to Tampa wouldn't be a bad idea.
Again, we're missing our numbers guy for who's got cap room to do what and offer. And nobody's offering Daniel Jones $45 million.
Yes, I mean the Giants could be available.
What about
So,
what about the
the
Raiders for Jimmy Garoppolo?
It depends on the Aaron Rodgers. I think the Raiders would get
Yeah.
if they don't get Rodgers. I think they go Jimmy G is their backup plan. I don't see the point in him going to. He'd be a backup with New England though, because they're not going to leave. I mean, they still like Mac Jones as far as I know.
and the other kid, they actually like both of them.
Oh yeah,
So,
the kid that beat the Browns' ass.
yeah. So yeah, there. I think New England's just hunky dory. So technically, right now the
Bill
Giants
Belichick don't give up on quarterbacks. Like
the
that.
Giants are looking for a quarterback. Seattle's more than likely signing
Geno.
re-signing Geno for long-term deal. You got Tampa open.
Crazy. You want $45 million. They got focused on
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley. Is he resigning? Do it look like he gonna resign with the Giants or?
Well, yeah, that's what the Giants are working on is Saquon. They're not
Worried about.
Focus on Saquon first.
Yeah.
Don't forget, there's a name that I don't see on this list that is a free agent, and that is the man, the myth, the legend, Mississippi Mustache.
Oh. Don't worry, there's the rest of the list, my man.
Now there he is. Okay, just making
He's
sure.
second from
Why he down? He down there with the
He's
scrub.
he's
He down there with Trace McSorley and.
He's the cheapest SOB out there.
Oh, they do it by last year. God, Trace McSorley.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Jared Stidham. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see because there's a lot of
Tyler Huntley. He went to a Pro Bowl.
we shouldn't have. So the Ravens don't have a single quarterback on the roster at this point because wasn't McSorley was there, and so
there's Huntley right there.
So was
that's right. Never mind. McSorley was in Arizona. He was with the Ravens before, but then was released and went to Arizona.
Yeah.
Is Tennessee going to stick with Tannehill too?
I think he is on the last year of that deal.
Okay, I knew it was coming up.
So
Flacco's probably just going to retire.
Yeah.
Oh no, he'll be a journeyman. He'll find something to snag onto somewhere.
I just don't see
some of these quarterbacks. Be like, oh my god!
Like I don't see any of these guys other than Garoppolo, maybe Mayfield, and one other one that would be a starter right now.
Actually, where did he go? Where did he go? There he is. Cooper Rush is sitting right there, and he's a UFA. I don't think that people are going to forget about what he did.
Right when Dak was out.
I don't think people are going to forget what he did. And Dallas doesn't have the money.
Him starter money though.
I don't know, but if you take a flyer on him for a 1-year deal
for $1 million, he'll take it.
Just to see for a couple mil, it could happen. Just to see. And like I said, New York's going to look for a cheaper way out for a quarterback. Wouldn't that just be a kick in the shorts? You turn around and sign, a rival division QB. Oh yeah.
Even if they signed Heineke.
Yeah,
I prefer them to sign Heineke over Rush.
Well, like twice a year. It wouldn't be a bad trade-off either way.
Imagine that game, Giants at the Redskins, and you have Taylor Heineke versus Sam Howell as your starting quarterbacks. That's a barn burner, boys and girls.
The football team.
Yeah, the biggest two moves that are gonna shape up everything is Carr or Garoppolo when that move drops, or even Rodgers if he doesn't retire.
The question is, who will be the first free agent that will dictate the market in terms of where everybody start making moves? I don't think it will be Rodgers.
No, Rodgers might be that one that'll wait till the last damn minute.
I think it might be. I don't even think it'll be Carr probably.
Well, no, I think Carr's probably going to get when business starts. What's up, Jason? Sorry about that. I'm a little behind on the comments here. No, Chipper, he ain't going to the Pats.
Here's just a hypothetical.
Yeah, the Raiders.
Could one of these quarterbacks that would be a starter happen to go to Miami with everything going on with Tua? Because literally, the dude's literally another concussion away from probably ending his career.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, but I think they don't got to take two gloves no more. But I think they cool on Skylar Thompson though. I mean, he played good in the playoff. He played good in the playoff game against Buffalo. Like,
Wow.
and the thing is I feel so bad for Carson Wentz. Dude was damn near a MVP going to a Super Bowl and then just fizzled out from there.
he's a 1 year wonder.
Hungry, bud?
And it sucks.
Yeah.
And thank God that, and almost I think the Browns would have almost took him.
It was for dinner. I just had to eat.
It would have been a no year wonder with the Browns.
What do you think Carson got?
If Miami's got the room, why not Jimmy G to Miami?
That's what I'm saying. He seems to do better when he comes in from somebody that gets injured anyhow. You know what I'm saying? That's what he excels.
Yeah,
and it is Tua what? Didn't they like the final year of that contract with Tua? So if they don't feel
safe,
comfortable with Tua, they can just let him go, and then you probably can plug Jimmy G there. You got the weapons there. Y'all in the win now mode mentality, so you probably need to get you a backup win now quarterback. Like,
I keep losing pieces.
So yeah, I can see Jimmy G in Miami.
I don't know why I'm feeling Carr to Miami all of a sudden.
No, I want to take
finally
Jimmy G.
choke and start.
I'm saying Miami is cool with Skylar Thomas because of how he played in the playoff game.
Who's jingling?
Right.
My pit bull shaking and thrashing about his rope.
Oh shit! Playtime. Well, let's let Zolt drop some numbers on us.
What am I doing?
We're looking to see who had salary cap room to sign free agent quarterbacks.
Okay.
We know you've got that salary cap.
Yeah.
Handy dandy.
Has it been refreshed and up to date?
Generally speaking, it almost always is. Okay. Anybody in particular we're looking at?
We're trying to think of Carr and Garoppolo at the moment. Best fits for them.
As far as Carr, I think he ends up at the Jets. The Jets' first choice is Aaron Rodgers. They've made that plain.
No.
The thing is, I don't know that Rodgers wants to go there.
Do you think he retires?
No, I think he's going to Vegas.
And that's what I said. Vegas is waiting on Aaron Rodgers' decision to see where they go because they want Rodgers, but if he doesn't choose them and goes to the Jets, and they can go get like the Garoppolo or something instead.
But what are the Raiders going to give up for getting Rodgers, though? I mean, you got to work because Dave, you got the numbers on that hit. You know, it's a big contract.
It is, but I mean, you have to feel just any quarterback with an existing contract that looks like it's prohibitive to trade, they always get redone. That's just always part of it. It's like, oh, well, we're just going to redo this and we're going to extend it out another 2 years that we know you're not going to play, but we're just going to do it and take the hit 2 years from now. I mean, look at the Saints. The Saints do this every year. The Saints are right now, they're sitting at negative 29 million. Literally a week and a half ago, they were negative 50 something. So they've already made a ton of work, and all they do is just kick the can down the road another couple of years. There are ways around it. So, I mean, sure, we can sit here and we can say, hey, the Raiders have $46 million in cap space. They can sign any quarterback they want, and they can. The Jets are at -1. That doesn't mean they can't sign Carr, that they can't sign Rodgers, or can't take on Rodgers. They can do it. There's ways, and they'll figure them out.
The one I saw
My
was
question is this. I'm hearing that Josh Jacobs might get tagged. How much would that be? Can they still get Rodgers if he get tagged? Like,
I mean, yeah, because $46 million is a lot. That's a lot of room there. Because if you're taking Rodgers, again, you're going to extend it out, so you're not taking that all in 1 year. I'm actually going to have to look up what franchise tag values are for running backs.
Yeah, it's I was just saying, well, you're looking at what they're going to turn around and pay Saquon. The Giants are going to pay Saquon. It's going to literally, like I said, the Giants are going to be looking to get a quarterback cheap. I don't think they're going to bet the farm on it.
Sorry, you said the Giants? The Giants that are supposedly still negotiating with Daniel Jones? Despite the fact that he's asking for 45, they're still talking to him.
I don't think he deserves a 45. I mean, you had one good year.
No,
I think it's more of a stick it to the Giants. Like, yeah, y'all thought it was trash. I thought it wasn't gonna do nothing.
I mean,
look at me now.
Well,
I mean, people can throw Daniel Jones stuff out. They can throw me some highlights. They can do all kinds of stuff. I'm not in the Daniel Jones camp.
Oh, I'm not neither. I still think it's funny he tripped on air. That's like the funniest moment ever. Like,
he's asking 45. I don't know that I would give him 15.
So you're looking at the aspect of you can't polish a turd because at the end of the day, it's still a turd.
Exactly. I mean, seriously, is this the guy that's going to lead you to victory? Is he?
He's got
one glorified game manager.
I don't even think he's a game manager.
Okay. Just to bring it back around. So franchise tag for running backs is $10 million. It's reasonable. Granted, he still has to sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Well, no, the thing I had
depends. If you're going to actually sit there, if you were told that Aaron Rodgers is coming and you're going to get tagged for it, okay, why not?
The thing I had brought up just before you had jumped on, Zolt, was with the situation. What's Miami's cap space looking like for the simple fact that if somebody were like a Carr or a Jimmy G would want to say go to Miami in case one more concussion for Tua, they're the starter.
So Miami is sitting at -15.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little rougher.
It's gonna be. It's not impossible. There's ways. The thing is,
you are about Jalen Waddle.
You're literally bringing in a guy at a position that you hope you already have that position covered.
But you don't know with his health, though. That's
you don't know. It's the NFL. You don't know anybody's health tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought of it before. I'm like, that's not a bad idea that one of them would go there just in case, because literally one more concussion and he's probably almost going to end his career at this point with the bad ones that he's had. And I hate to see that happen. I don't want it to happen. Obviously, I want him to succeed because, you never want to wish anything bad on anybody. But at this point, dude, you got to kind of look at it that way. Like one more and you got to seriously think about retiring.
And just to take it back to Josh Jacobs real quick, he might actually sign that no issue because the Raiders declined his 5th-year option for his rookie deal. So he's making a heck of a lot more money if they franchise him.
Oh,
I mean, they could have had him for the 5th year, just at his rookie scale.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, he's signing that baby.
Because basically, what we've thrown out so far is like a possibility of like a Carr to the Giants, even if they don't want to re-sign Daniel Jones or whatever. But you also got to look at Carr's age too.
Yeah.
I legit, I don't know what the Giants are doing. I really don't. I mean, everything I hear seems they want to keep Jones, and I'm just like, get rid of him. But I mean, Carr, once Rodgers actually goes somewhere, makes his decision, comes out of his darkness or whatever the hell you want to call it. Once he makes his decision, I really think Carr is in the driver's seat. I mean, number one, he's already met with quite a few teams. So he's definitely going to be right up there as far as teams that are looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: I've never been a gigantic Carr fan, but when you go if you go into the analytics, the DVOA, which off the top of my head I can't remember what it's a defensive value, blah 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 blah. The years that Carr was with the Raiders, over that time span, the Raiders were last in the league for defense. They gave him nothing, and he was supposed to win.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. Back to the Giants. I'll just leave it at this with the Giants. They still got one with hamstring issues still signed on their roster for like another year. So I don't know.
Giants are
get rid of
probably
that
gonna,
guy.
yeah, Giants are probably going to franchise Barkley, I would imagine. I mean, why not bring back Saquon at $10 million?
Right. Let him
Thing
ball
is,
out.
when they asked him about the deal he want, he said he don't want to break the market deal like Christian McCaffrey or all them. He said he just want a fair amount of money. I think he said he wants something along the line of the deal the Browns gave Nick Chubb, like 3 years, like $34 million or something. Like it's a little more than a franchise tag. He said he don't want to break the market.
Right. And remember,
for a player to say.
Well, yeah.
I mean, remember though, franchise tag, that doesn't mean that's what they're actually going to play on. I mean, that just gives them time to negotiate, come up with a 3-year deal,
All I want is MVG and Lions blue.
Kareem says, I'll take
I'm in the same boat, Kareem. I'm in the same boat.
right?
I would like input as to what teams I'm up against.
If
there's five of us, we'll spread them out.
Oh,
Do we need to circle back and let Zolt give his take on what the Bears are going to do with that first pick?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the Bears.
Yep.
I will say this. I do think if they're smart, they're making a deal because they're not going to take a quarterback. I hate to put it this way, but you are literally stuck with Fields whether you think he's your guy or not because he's there. He has put up numbers. You need to figure it out or at least take a year or two and try to figure it out.
Well,
I'm
I
gonna say
had
this with
mentioned
Justin Fields. I'm saying this with Justin Fields, and it's any like quarterback. I can't fault a guy if you ain't put nothing around him. You ain't get a man no line. You ain't give him no receivers. He ain't had a healthy running back since he been there. It's like you're doing the thing you did with Mitchell Trubisky all over again. Except he had Matt Nagy handicapping him down. Like y'all about to have two number one franchise quarterbacks, and the Bears gonna mess it up twice.
and not to change the topic because we're going to go right back to the Bears. Matt Nagy named offensive coordinator for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And he has a ring. The dude got a ring.
Okay, the Bears. I know you threw it in the chat earlier, George. The two teams have already contacted them about that pick. It's the Colts and the Panthers. I can almost tell you that right now.
Right. And the Colts make sense because they're not going to drop that far. They're only going to drop from 1 to 4. So they're going to get a little bit of a ransom on top of it,
Yeah.
and still probably get one of their guys right at 4. So I
They want
don't
the
I
same
don't see that much
package.
of an issue.
They want the
Right.
same
It
package
was a
that the
golf.
Titans got from the Rams when they traded for golf.
Right.
I mean,
and
at this-
they'll get it. They'll get it.
here's yeah. I mean,
I'm
here's
curious
the
if it is Carolina, who they would take. Are they going to go C.J. Stroud, or do they like the Bryce Young better? You know what I mean? Like if they were to move up to one, which quarterback are they going
Who's their
to? 'Cause that's
coach?
obvious. Frank Wright.
I see him probably lean towards Stroud. No, but he had Andrew Luck though, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, he did not have Andrew.
He didn't
Luck.
have Andrew Luck.
No,
Nope. Andrew Luck left before he got there.
I thought he had him for a year, maybe. Okay.
Oh, okay. So he had. God, who was their star quarterback?
Wentz
Then was it Wentz?
Yeah.
or was Foles there? No. I don't, Yeah,
Was
see?
Brissett there? No, Brissett I don't think was there.
all right, what were you going to say, Zolt?
When you get there.
I don't remember.
Sorry.
I was so honestly, I could see the Bears going down to 4 and then going down again because someone at 4, one of those quarterbacks is still going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody falls in love with whether it's Levis,
No,
or
please, God, no.
Richardson,
God, let it not be Richardson.
it's certainly possible.
Reich is now the Panthers coach, not Indy's.
That's what I said.
No, I
He-
know
yeah,
that.
that's-
But
He
we
asked
talking
who
about
was the
quarterback
coach
he
in
had
it.
when he was with Indy.
Indy's coach
Oh,
is the one from Indy was one of the teams that stole the Eagles OC
right,
or
the Eagles
OC or
guy,
DC.
Right. Yeah. I was like, wait a second. I'm like,
No,
what?
because he asked who the Panthers coach was now. It's
Yeah.
Frank.
It's Frank.
Because I got a feeling that I think Carolina wants Stroud. I really do. Because he
Well,
reminds me like
everybody-
the big body quarterback like Cam Newton was.
Except he can't run,
Right.
but he's more of a polished passer than Cam coming out, though.
To be fair, Chicago could in theory keep the pick and take whatever defensive player they want. Probably Anderson. I've heard a couple other names tossed about that are kind of moving up
Yeah, I
the
think
chart.
it'll be Will Anderson. That defensive tackle from Georgia, what's his name? Carter, I think.
Yeah, from Georgia.
But I mean,
Well, I was going to say,
If I'm them-
of Carolina quarterback, Houston's not going to be. Arizona won't. Well, Arizona, it could be 50-50. Indy, Seattle, Detroit, Vegas, Atlanta, Carolina. I don't see where anybody else would jump up to get a quarterback. I really don't.
What's them
I mean,
teams
unless
again, George?
Washington's really going to leap up out of 16. Houston is 2, Arizona 3, Indy at 4, then Seattle at 5, Detroit at 6, Vegas at 7, Atlanta 8, Carolina 9. I don't think
Yeah,
Carolina
Houston
would
not
need
gonna
to
trade
move
up.
up
Houston
unless
could get a quarterback regardless, so Houston's going to be
right. The Houston's also got the 12th pick from Cleveland, so they can sit on it too. Unless Washington really jumps up out of 16
I can see Washington doing
to
it.
do it, but Washington's going to have to
But they
give up
sold on
a
Howe,
lot.
though. But they
Really?
sold on Howe, though.
Really,
I don't think they'll
really,
give up.
do you really honestly believe that?
We haven't seen anything out of him yet. He hasn't been given. He's not been given one game.
What? They haven't seen squat. Detroit doesn't need to trade up, Chipper. What does Detroit need to trade for?
And Atlanta's
need to
high
trade
on
up.
Ritter, from what I hear.
Atlanta, I was going to say, Atlanta doesn't need to trade up either. Yeah.
I was just about to ask about that too, about them and Desmond Ritter. So they're sold on there.
But the thing is,
Detroit's happy with Goff.
the thing with Carolina though is you're going to have to give up more to jump ahead of Indy even too. So wouldn't the Bears take the Panthers deal over the Colts because they're going to get more out of it?
And to Kareem's
In
point,
theory,
Baltimore, if they don't come up with something,
Mhm.
that is a hell of a jump to go up from 23 all the way to 1. That's going to be wow. You are going to give up a lot to make that move.
I mean, Baltimore's tagging Lamar.
Yeah,
I mean, they kind of
Yeah.
have to at this point. Again, if he
Odin,
signs
there's
it,
no snow here.
it's all rain.
It's all rain.
I got
Right.
ice. I got ice like crazy.
Yeah, I was just say Zolt's got ice in Michigan. Yeah, that's right.
Ooh, I
for
don't know. That's gonna
Baltimore.
be yeah. When you look at all them teams, I mean, you can see Baltimore. The one that's intriguing to me is the Cardinals.
Because Kyler being out
Yeah.
for 3/4 of the year.
Not even that. I was hearing like I forgot it was something I was listening to, and they was talking about why don't they draft a replacement? They tell Kyler sit out the whole year, basically draft his replacement, and then try and negotiate some deal for him to like go away. Kyler's the cancer in Arizona, unfortunately.
They screwed up
What
when
happens when
they
you give
re-signed
somebody a
him.
keys to the Jeep who ain't done nothing? Like,
I was gonna say,
Right.
don't sleep on the Raiders wanting a quarterback, even with them getting, say, for example, Aaron Rodgers, because Rodgers might only play 1 year.
And they're gonna we don't even know what the quarterback class will be next year.
Right. I mean, you know one of them. Caleb.
Yeah, from
USC.
Mike
USC.
Williams,
Yeah.
USC.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
I just don't see why this whole hype about this Levis kid. That's why I'm just like, when Carolina trading up, that's the one thing that scares me is they would try to take him, and I don't see it.
I'm
I
gonna
am
send him with
seeing
Anthony
his
Richardson.
name.
Like,
I'm
I just
seeing-
don't see it.
I'm seeing Levis all over the place. In
Levis
top
to me is
10.
another Zach Wilson, just like Anthony Richardson. I think Levis is another Zach Wilson.
But Richardson seems to be the one that everybody's high on right now. That he's
I'm not
moving
high
up.
on Richardson. I'm not high on Richardson neither. I've seen enough games of him at Florida. His thing is if it ain't there, he gonna run, and like that's good. But at the same time, though, like they'll shut that down real quick. At least
Yeah, look-
like Lamar or something.
Yeah, look at all the running quarterbacks from this year. You know, Jalen Hurts got hurt. You know, Kyler Murray was hurt. Lamar Jackson was hurt.
He's not the best passer neither, too. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, he's not the most polished passer. You gotta go to a system or a team with a quarterback coach that could help him polish up his passing.
So basically, from all the
Quarterback.
talks that we're talking about right now, the best two quarterbacks is going to be Bryce Young or CJ
It's
Stroud.
Young and Stroud.
Yes.
And the
I mean,
other,
unless there's a team out there that just falls in love with one of the other guys for whatever reason.
the others just seem like a project at this point.
No, I mean, Richardson definitely is. The thing about Richardson, from what I'm hearing, is he has tools that people haven't seen before. He can do things that people haven't seen him for. The problem is he is as far from polished as you can be. So he is going to need a year or two with a genuine quarterback coach to see if you can polish that up. If you can't, the reason people might reach for that is because if you can polish that up, if you can turn him into a passer, combine that with the other stuff, you've got offensive coordinators that are just literally sitting there salivating over it.
Here's
He gonna be like Michael. He gonna be like Michael Vick with better accuracy.
Here's
That's
a name.
my hope.
Here's a name we're not even talking about, and I understand he's not going to be a top. He probably won't even be. He may not go until the third or fourth round. Max Duggan out of TCU.
I thought you were going to say Hooker.
I forgot about him too, though. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying. But he's coming off that ACL injury, so that's kind of a red flag coming off an injury like that.
He's a guy you're going to have to park for a little
Right.
while.
But I mean, not too many people are talking about, I mean, and Duggan's game in that, not the national championship, because obviously they got killed, but what was it, their championship game, that last drive, the grit and determination, probably showed a lot of teams that, this kid has the it factor. It's just, could he be the starter though? That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's we always focus on the first round because
Right.
the first round's exciting. That's what everybody wants. Oh, hey, we're going to get our guy.
Or we
you're going to
hope.
get what is there when you pick.
Right. Take the best available and
Yeah.
shut
That's
up.
what you're going to get.
Yeah, I don't know though. I mean,
And see, as Cleveland fans, we don't give a shit about the draft this year because or the next year, or the year after, because we don't have a first round pick for a while.
Don't worry, we'll get a first round pick again soon, and then we'll start talking about quarterbacks and how we're going to draft in the top 10. So
Nah,
the cycle will repeat itself.
we got at least 3 or 4 years with Watson. We'll be fine.
You have one season of Watson, and then they're going to look to dump him.
Not with all that money you paid him, you're not.
Unless you can rework that contract, because he's not going to play any better this year than he did last year.
I
Yeah,
bet you
the
he
problem
does.
is he has to agree to rework that project, and if he's
That's
playing like
right.
shit, why
And
would
he's
he?
not going to.
Right.
yeah.
And now then you're going to cut him and start paying him like you did Eric Mangini and Romeo Crennel, and the list goes on and on.
I like the Romeo Crennel.
I did too.
I like the Romeo Crennel when he was here. One of the coaches I can say that I actually liked. I liked him. Pat Sherman could kick rough. I can stand Pat Sherman. You either run it or you throw it on third down. The only choice you got. Like, and you're a football coach. Yeah, okay.
All right, what other free agent news we got with the NFL? Anything you think?
I mean, just you got to remember, anybody nobody's technically been released yet except for Carr.
Taylor
most
Lewan.
of this is scheduled to be released.
They released Robert
and,
Woods too, didn't they? I heard they got rid of him too.
you can't sign anybody.
No, you can't do nothing yet.
So
you got a couple more
it's-
weeks.
Yeah, it's just talking.
Just playing
Once
phone
that signing
tag.
period hit, you gotta hear all them people drop. Doom, 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 doom.
I mean, right now the league focus is what the combine is this week,
Yeah.
so everybody's there.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
I've literally heard there are teams that are not going to be there.
Really?
Yes, because the combine releases all the information. They release all the tape.
So you can just watch the tape instead of being there. Or if you don't want to go to the pro day.
And realistically, heard this many times over the years. It's like if your decision is being made from what you see at the combine, you're doing this wrong.
Right.
Because you have tape on all of these guys.
Well, just
The tape-
for shit. My fault.
I was just because
No, go ahead.
the tape is game tape. You see them in the game.
Well, isn't it the combine and kind of a thing where a lot of the guys like to do the interview process part of it though too?
Yes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's probably the one thing that can make or break somebody. I would say it can more break somebody than it can make somebody.
Because they put them in like the scenarios, like, all right, here's the play. What would you do in the situation? And they go through that route and see if he's good at reading defenses and whatnot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I get that.
It's a feeling out
Yeah, for sure.
process.
Yeah. I was saying for shits and giggles, I was looking up at the NFL's top 101 free agents. Guess who's number 101?
What position?
Quarterback. You mentioned them a lot.
Carr.
Nope. Baker
Garoppolo.
Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't know that. Okay, so they said Lamar Jackson, he could sign a non-exclusive tag, which means he could sign another offer sheet, or the Ravens can match it or let him walk for 2 first-round draft picks.
Right.
Yeah, you got to look out for that
Yeah.
stuff because that's when you get a team throwing a poison pill out there for you.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask
I was
you
going
guys
to say, you thought Cleveland threw out,
Right.
some fun stuff last year.
what-
Oh, my God. Could you imagine if Baltimore or somebody did that with Lamar Jackson? Oh,
You-
By the way, they got Carr 6 star. Carr 6.
And not to take away from the free and the draft, and we could go right back to it, but hit for a minute on the Washington Commanders. Did y'all see the thing that popped up late this afternoon from Dan Snyder?
about him being released or
He
No, I didn't see it.
He's floating out there that the only way he's going to agree to sell his portion of the team is if the NFL agrees to waive any sanctions or illegalities against him. So, for example, if something comes up after the fact, after he sells the team, the league basically has to defend him.
Oh, sneaky. He found the Suds loophole.
No, because there's owners right now that if they weren't ready to vote him out, they're probably getting ready to now.
Wow. Damn.
He needs.
I was going to say, as of
to find that
35
buyer.
minutes ago, NFL owners discussing removing Dan Snyder as the owner as of 35 minutes ago.
Yeah, dude. Needs to
So
keep his
before the
mouth
end of
shut.
the night, guess what could be happening, folks?
I mean, honestly, you'd make so much more money if you just keep your mouth shut and sell it to somebody as opposed to now pulling this move. Because if they remove you, that's a whole other story.
Yep. Yeah, that does not go over well because that opens up the whole other case of worms of your penalties and everything else of I wish I would have been able to look that up because I know there is a long list of things that will be occurring if that does happen.
We're talking about that with something else too. What's Dan Snyder beef with the dude from Amazon? What's his name? Jeff something?
Bezos.
Because apparently he said he blocked him from bidding on the Commanders.
I don't know what the issue is there.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Honestly,
like, no, you can't bid for that.
Yes,
no.
I've heard that.
I'm
Yes,
like,
I heard the same thing that Snyder said that Bezos can't bid on it. Dude, it's two billionaires that just don't like each other. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it says here that if they do vote him out tonight, he has 3 months. He's got 120 days that he must sell the franchise. If Snyder doesn't fulfill that, he and Goodell need to mutually agree to the price and the terms of sale minimum, and the NFL then purchases the team outright, and Snyder loses his rear end on the sale too. So Dan needs to hurry up and find somebody very quickly.
What a cluster.
Man, he is the worst owner ever.
I had
Absolutely.
a point and I lost it. I got sidetracked with all the other conversations going on. I had a point to bring up or a question and I can't remember it now. You know what I remember? And when we're in a totally different topic and it ain't even going to be relevant to the situation at the time.
Well, like I said, that's pretty scary to, with checking that out. I'm Dave, glad you brought that in because I knew I hadn't forgotten about that. He has to sell the team.
So they're on a Zoom meeting right now, possibly talking about, oh, we got to hurry up and get rid of this motherfucker because he goes out of bounds with these demands.
This is 100% the league's fault because they've known what kind of guy he is for a very long time, and they just let him keep doing crap.
So what is the asking price right now for the franchise?
Hang on. I'd have to look that up, but I wanted to say he wanted like $8 billion.
I knew there was a B, so I was like, I thought it was billion.
It says 6.
Okay.
Yeah, they said somebody named Tillman Ferretta placed a bid above $5.5 billion.
It says that the FOS is reporting that he wants 7, but it's at least 6.
And Vince McMahon won $9 billion for WWE. Ain't that bottom line? Two asinine owners.
What was the last franchise that just Denver?
Yeah.
When Denver sold. I think that one guy that offered the 5 point whatever, he made the same deal for Denver, but his thing is, look, I will straight up give you 5.5, but this is like, you either accept this now or I'm walking away because I'm not going to sit here through a giant bidding war and let the price just keep going up and up and up. And they said, no, he walked and Denver sold for less.
Right. Denver sold it for 4.65 to Rob Walton, who is the son of Sam Walton.
Chipper brought up a good point. Why wasn't Snyder ousted years ago? Like, what was the holdup?
He knows things.
Yep, I was gonna say he.
I mean,
Apparently, he has dirt
He's
on
got him
all
by
the
the
owners.
cojones per se.
he's got
I
a
think it's straight
couple. He's got a,
mafioso.
and this could turn around, and Jerry needs to be very careful here because I think there's a
Yeah,
lot
their relationship's
between
sour.
him and Jerry, and this could start an internal tumbling that
So
will not go away for a
So
while.
are you telling me that there's like a NFL list, like there's the Epstein list?
It's a very
Yeah.
strong possibility.
It could be.
but let's
Because when he
also
came
just
out and said he had dirt on all the other owners,
Right.
they all kind of shied away.
Well,
Shut
please
down.
bring out
Like,
Jimmy Haslam so we can get rid of him.
there's
Jimmy's new blood. This is going back to the good
Yeah.
old boy
Okay.
club.
look
Robert
if you're concerned
Kraft
about
Good
and-
old boys club.
if you're concerned about Jimmy's going to be busy running the Bucks for a little
I
while.
was gonna
so you
say,
ain't gotta
no,
worry about that.
I didn't want to bring it up. You did,
Yeah.
but like even
I know
one of the
I've
other
got that on
stations,
the list.
the stations in town brought it up today, and they're like, "How screwed up is this?" Because they do a governing system, like when it comes to the owners, who gets to hoist the trophy if they make it to the finals and win. How pissed off is the city of Cleveland going to be to watch Jimmy Haslam hoisting an NBA Finals trophy, but can't even get his damn team to the Super Bowl?
Well, that's because he doesn't have to worry about hiring front office people that are already in place for the Bucks.
Oh, that's
Let's,
going to be.
let's take this back just real quick. I know we said, okay, why haven't they gotten rid of Snyder? Does he have dirt? Probably. Is he willing to throw it out there? A time will tell. There's also the fact the owners don't. This is a precedent they don't want to set. They don't want it out there. It's like, well, hey, an owner can be voted out, so you better watch your step. That's the way it should be. That's why the rules are there and written the way that they are. But they don't want to pull that trigger. They want him to just go away. They don't want him to go away fighting. They just want him to go away.
Right.
Well, they know he's not
And-
going to go away.
and he doesn't wanna
He's not
go
going
away.
away fighting.
No,
He's gonna go-
he's going away kicking and screaming.
You just
being
stole my
dragged.
thunder. That's exactly where I was
The
headed with
thing
it.
is this, though. Couldn't they get rid of him at... Wasn't the Commanders the one they could have got rid of him after this whole incident where, like, he was stealing money from the NFL off tickets or something like that? Couldn't they get rid of him then? Like...
There's a
Yeah.
process.
Yes,
This
there's a
is
process.
all
This is all
the
part of
process.
that. This is
Yep.
still part of that.
This is-
It's just
yeah.
been going this far.
And it's taken legally. It is. They're making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed.
And believe me, now that I just started the position. Today was my first day, but I know that like there's rules and regulations and guidelines we have to go by. You can't just go out and be like, somebody makes you mad, they do something stupid, you're fired. Well, no, because they're in the union, you got to do the paper trail, make sure everything's backtracked, and you got to do the process of, here's a verbal warning, here's a write up, here's another write up, and then a third one, and then the third write up, you get a suspension, and the next screw up, you're fired. There's the process.
Process.
Yeah, and we're not
We're
talking
going to
about
enjoy processes. We're going to enjoy
we're
it a lot.
yeah we're not talking about
That's what
going to
people
HR.
think.
Well, I'm just saying, but I get it now. Why it's more detailed than what people think.
Yeah,
Right.
but like I said, this is the NFL. This is the biggest good old boys club you're ever going to find. So yeah, it's not just what forms do we have to fill out. It's literally, what do we have to catch them doing? What else do we have to catch them doing? What else do we have to catch them doing? Oh God, Congress is involved now.
So it's one of those, just the good old boys that mean in no harm kind of deal.
I don't think for a second you can say Daniel Snyder doesn't mean any harm.
But we know. Oh,
Right.
yeah, no.
And the ugliness is, you have to remember, when you do sell the team, that's just another lengthy process of the owners have to agree on that person who is purchasing the team. You just
They
can't
vote on
say,
that, correct?
I'm selling it to, where Eddie DeBartolo had to turn around and sell it to his son-in-law.
I disagree because I feel like if me and Star with the bottom Browns, I feel like they'd just be like, "Go ahead, have them." Like
They would just give them to us.
they just give them to us because we just that good. So it's just fun.
Well, I mean,
Same
not
result with
to-
the Lions.
Oh.
Nice. Thanks.
Ain't that right, though?
Yeah.
That Rite Aid money. That Rite Aid money coming in.
Not
Hard
to
and
bring
fast.
up my league as a second-rate league, because the NHL kind of is. They had an issue. I think it was with the Islanders. The Islanders went through a couple different owners within the span of a few years because they sold to a guy, and then 90% of the way through the process, they realized the guy didn't have the money.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
whoopsie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just this isn't like buying a car. this is a bit more than
Why
that.
he holding off on getting us this money? Why is he holding off?
So has anybody pulled a bank statement?
He call you getting the secretary all the time.
It really makes you wonder that if the Washington Commanders are going for 5.5 or whatever they're asking, like what some of the other price tags will be on some of these other teams.
Well, it's like the team valuations that they throw out there every so often. If I remember right, Dallas is usually top of the list,
Usually.
mainly because of Jerry World, the
Right.
stadium.
It was in '96.
this-
John Angelo Spano.
Spano, that's the name.
Spano. That's the guy. It was pleaded guilty to bank and wire fraud.
Yeah, he didn't have the money, but he was going to find it.
Yep. I was gonna
It's
say
something
it.
different. This is different. What about the dude that like the Kings? I think did he like go to jail for like some kind of like fraud or something? It was on a 30 for 30. I don't know. Was it Bruce Manil or something? Like I think he bought the Kings, but he was in like some legal issues while he was owning the Kings. I'm about to look it up real quick. Hold on.
Well, I mean, these kind of situations are why we have the rules.
True.
Just found this chief revenue officer, Jeffrey David, diverted $13.4 million into a shell company by forging the signatures of other team executives over a 4-year stretch.
Whoops.
Gets 7 years for a $13 million fraud. Ooh. Ouch.
Oh, okay. I found it. He defaulted on a $90 million loan in 1993. And Bank of America threatened to force the Kings into bankruptcy unless he sold them.
I would have loved to have heard some of those collection calls.
Wow.
He sold control of the King in 1994. Yeah. Well, sir, you said still following along. We're just gonna put a team in bankruptcy, like.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
no.
so taking it back, getting away from the owners because the owners are irritating. What does Dallas do with Tony Pollard? Because he's a free agent.
I was going to say, they were talking about tagging him.
They could. That's $10
They're
million.
probably going to tag him and then see exactly what they're going to do, because they want to turn around and put him as the starter over Zeke, and then probably rework Zeke's deal and trade off Zeke is pretty much what it sounds
They gotta
like.
rework that deal.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
But it's the one thing that they
And
always
then-
say
and
about
then
Jerry
trade
Jones
him.
that's true. He is so loyal to his guys, even if it's the detriment to the team.
But
He
he's
needs to go
also,
and tell Zeke, but
remember,
he's not
Jerry-
going to.
yeah, but remember, Jerry's also the one who turned around and will whack you in the back of the head when you don't
That
see
too.
it coming.
But
So he's
Yeah,
not
that
afraid to
too.
just slice you and dice you.
But if one thing I learned from Hard Knocks Dallas, Zeke is Dak's guy.
Yeah, they came in
They're
together.
they came in together. They're best buds.
Mhm.
They're going back to the team hotel, playing video games, whatever the hell they're doing. That's their best buds, man. So, and I know Jerry don't care about that.
Nope.
but Dak might.
Oh well. Oh well.
That's the one thing that sucks.
The owner is the one who owns and runs the team. We know that.
Yeah. So Zeke has a cap hit of 16. His dead hit is only like 12. You could save 4 by cutting him.
Yep.
Actually, you could save almost 5 by cutting him. Or you rework it. The problem is he's still got. I mean, he's signed through 26.
Yep.
Oh,
So if you're redoing his deal, how are you doing that? Because you're probably not adding years to that.
you got to
No.
take a steep pay cut.
No, or like you said, you're gonna just drop him, and scarily, team who needs something of a running back is gonna be Buffalo. Buffalo is gonna look for the first running back who's better than what they've currently got between Singletary and
That's pretty much anything.
yeah. So Buffalo will take it. Buffalo is literally looking to take anybody's sloppy seconds.
And I mean, we could always be looking at a situation where Zeke agrees to a reduced deal and a reduced role to stay with Dallas because it's
Dallas.
It's Dallas. It's the team he's been at. So, and honestly, Pollard Elliott, that's a decent 1-2 punch, assuming they stay healthy.
Very true.
I might be against the
I might just-
grain. I like the way they use Tony Pollard. I don't want him carrying the ball 20 times a game. I like how they use him. Put him all over the field. Put him out there. Let him touch the ball like 12 times on carry and just spread them all over the field. Him and Zeke do got a little thing. It's a thunder and light. It's like Chubb and Hunt when Hunt was here for 2 years. Yeah, but like they got a thing though right there between them two. But yeah, Zeke got to take a pay cut. He got to take a massive pay cut.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to
How much of a
rework
pay
it,
cut?
yeah, that's the question. I mean, if they want to just rework it, this is technically his last year where he has any guaranteed money. So they could rework it and just
Switch it out.
convert half of that remaining salary to a signing bonus and throw it into the next 2-3 years, and then the cap hit is small and keep them both.
Right. Yeah, but honestly, I mean, Pollard was way better than Zeke anyways, at least in my opinion, in most of the games that they played.
Yeah, this year. Yeah. Even
Well, I
last
mean,
year.
Yeah.
And like I've been saying for I think the last year, year. Go ahead, I'll let you go.
No, go.
I was just gonna say,
ahead.
ever since he got the "Feed Me" tattoo across his belly, he hasn't been getting fed very well.
I didn't want to touch the tattoo.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Freaking Ohio State hater.
That has nothing to do with it.
Oh, sure.
Maybe.
I'll say this about Zeke.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. Maybe a little. My ass. Whatever, dude. Whatever.
I'll say this about Zeke.
I'm gonna throw it right back at you. Kareem
His
Hunt.
first
Since
couple
Clint brought him
years
up.
in the league, they wore the hell out of Zeke. But Zeke
Right.
did get lazy. He didn't
Right, because
take
he
care
got
of himself. So,
Right.
yeah.
When you get paid, that's what happens.
But also,
Hell, I disagree because
there
Nick
is-
Chubb got paid and Nick Chubb still in the gym every day squatting 600. Like,
there is a point to be made for overuse.
True.
Because 3 of his first 4 years, he had over 300 carries.
Which is almost like
That's
unheard
a
of.
lot.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of carries.
That's a lot of wear and tear.
Okay, maybe he did get fed then after all.
And what about Kareem Hunt? Is Cleveland gonna tag him?
No,
No.
because
Nah,
if they tag
where-
him, what's the money on
And
that?
where's it?
10.
where's it
It's
going?
10.
It's gonna be 10
10
million.
Okay, it doesn't matter if it's 10 for everybody then.
Yeah.
When it comes
Yeah.
to running backs,
Yep.
Yeah.
So where's if Cleveland's not going to tag him because
they're not going to. I
Then
think they'll take their
where's he
chances
going?
with Ford because Ford is basically their younger version of Kareem Hunt.
That's why they
Then-
drafted Ford. When they drafted Ford, they drafted him basically as Kareem Hunt's replacement.
Well, then
Buffalo should jump all over Kareem Hunt if they get the chance. He's better than anything they have right now.
And the third one on the list is Rashad Penny.
Can he stay healthy?
Seattle.
Hello, Rashad Penny.
I'm gonna throw something out there. Y'all tell me if I'm crazy.
No.
Shoot.
Seattle signs Hunt. So you've got Walker and Hunt as a 1-2.
Holy shit! Look out!
Wow.
It won't be out.
Wow.
It won't be too out. It won't be too out the ordinary. Because when Kenneth Walker got hurt from them games, they ain't have nobody.
No. They had DJ Dallas. It's just that some head coach doesn't want to run the damn ball when he's supposed to. Oh, I'm sorry. Were we talking about Pete Carroll again? Oh,
Hey,
damn.
hey. You know, Russ tried to get rid of him.
I know.
Okay, DJ Dallas just not that good.
Allegedly.
DJ Dallas is that good.
Yeah, man.
He is that good.
Oh God, man, just this shit is coming out about Russ, man. Oh my God, bro, it's sad. Like they said it, they was at the Pro Bowl and they said, "Oh, we just walking across talking." They said Russell Wilson had to come over here with a golf cart. They like, really, bro? You couldn't walk across the field, like.
No, I think it's funny how as soon as Sean Payton came in, he basically told them this whole entourage shit is out the window. There is no more of this.
I like that. That's how Sean Payton wrote. I like that.
That's right.
Yeah, and you know what? This is the head coach you wanted. So here we go.
The rest of their running backs, real quick: Jamal Williams, Detroit; Josh Jacobs, Mark Ingram, Burkhead, Mostert, Boston Scott, P. Ryan, Miles Sanders, Jerick McKinnon. Jerick McKinnon's actually on this list too. Dearness Johnson, Matt Breida, Royce Freeman, Latavius Murray, David Johnson, Jeff Wilson, Kenyon Drake, Marlon Mack, David Montgomery. Singletary is actually a UFA. So Buffalo, I don't think Buffalo re-signs him.
I'll tell you what,
I don't even think they have Morris either. I think Morris is out too.
You know,
so
how about
Buffalo would probably jump on Hunt.
You learn something new every day. David Johnson's still in the league.
Who?
Yeah, I know, right?
David Johnson.
Yeah,
he's still in the league.
What's the deal with your guys' Jamal? Are they going to resign? Is he free agent? What's the stat? Because I know there was
UFA.
He's a UFA.
Buffalo could take him too. I mean, dude led the league in touchdowns this year.
They could. I really hope we resign him.
Well, I know you guys are high on him, so
yeah. Him and Swift are nice. Him and Swift are a nice combination. It's a good change of pace.
I actually think Jamal Williams. I think if Buffalo had the option between Hunt and Williams, I would probably take Williams.
Isn't he younger?
No, because his style is more like Josh Allen. He's more of a bruising running back.
They're both 27.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
They're both 27.
He's more of a bruising
3
running
months
back.
apart.
You guys can tell me if you've heard this or not from Hunt, but as far as Williams goes, Williams is a locker room guy. He is a huge locker room guy.
Yeah.
Hunt. I think Hunt was until the whole demanding the trade thing, and then I think that's what changed everything.
Yeah.
And Williams has flat out said he wants to come back. It's just a matter of
because everybody sees what Dan Campbell's doing there. Like they made a progress in this last year. I mean, the next 2 years, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make the playoffs.
Well, I'd say they're going to do it next year. They were pretty damn close this year.
We damn well better be competing for
that
North.
division.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we better be
next year.
Yeah.
Well, if anything, just beat Green Bay. We'll be happy.
Division next year.
Been there, done that.
That's right. Now you just got to beat up Minnesota too.
Now we got to beat up the Vikings.
Beat up the Vikings, and then you're good to go. You'll be just fine. But yeah, that's a lot of there's a lot of good running backs sitting there.
There's a lot of good running backs. There's also a lot of running
good
backs out there with history, like
Yeah.
injury history. There's a lot of missed games on that list.
Yeah. A lot of them.
Miles Sanders is a pretty good affordable one, though. I mean, looking at that, I'm just like, whoa, you didn't see that one.
But
I
he's
mean,
also one of them
technically,
guys
that's actually
he's
him
also one of
and
those injured
Boston.
guys.
Him and Boston Scott both being on this list. Who does Philly have left sitting in there?
I'm pulling it up.
They got Gainwell. I know they got Kenneth Gainwell. But
That's
it,
right.
I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, but they're in the
think it's
same. But they're in the
think
same
that's
boat.
all.
But they're in the same boat as Baltimore and Buffalo. Man, their best running back is their quarterback.
No,
It's-
Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders held his own this past year.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah,
was definitely
Hurts
there,
did.
and he
Hurts
He
didn't have
showed.
to run like a maniac. He didn't
I
have to
mean,
run like a maniac.
Philly could tag him. Again, a
Yeah.
lot of these guys aren't going to actually make it to free agency. It's just they're on the
Yeah.
list now. What tag? We've got a week and a half before teams have to decide on tags.
March 15th.
Okay, so a couple weeks.
March 15th. Yeah, we've got a couple weeks yet, and that 4:00 business time frame
Yeah.
and everything else. So it'll be that week. Everybody will start, they'll get their 48-hour window before that of, the legal talking tos and everything else of who they're going to, the franchise tag, the non-tender tag. How many tags they got now? 3, 4 different types.
Yeah.
So they'll run through everybody on that.
Yeah.
The ugliness could still be Baltimore because they said they were still nowhere close.
Lamar
He wanted
wants
Deshaun
full
Watson
guarantee.
money.
He wants
But-
a full guarantee.
He wanted the Deshaun Watson contract. He wanted
Yeah.
all
Well,
guaranteed.
well,
fully guaranteed.
He's not gonna get that because Baltimore sees what happened with Arizona and Kyler Murray, and no other team is going to turn around and pull a Cleveland Browns. A lot of team owners had already said that was the dumbest thing in NFL history. And guess what? Leave it to Cleveland to do.
You're
something
welcome.
stupid. Yep, you're exactly.
I've been saying
Thank
this
you.
even before
Thank
the
you,
whole
Adam.
Deshaun Watson
Thank
thing.
you, Adam.
For the whole Deshaun Watson thing. I always said to me, I'm not giving Lamar Jackson a full guarantee max contract. I'm sorry. Your play style and your health is not worth me guaranteeing you a lot of my money for 5 years. It's not. Okay.
I remember when I was now that we've circled back, this is where I remembered, and it actually fits with it because it was about Lamar. Do we really think is there more to that whole injury shit? Because literally the dude sat out the rest of the season, and they said they kept trying to say it was swelling and this and that, but we know dudes have had that same injury and have played on it 2 weeks later. So is it because of the contract that he didn't want to risk it, or is there just more to it that, or maybe does he actually want out of Baltimore?
It could be a little bit of both.
Both, yeah.
It's going to be both, but
All the
Baltimore wants some compensation out of it. You can sit there and tag him and trade him.
I'm kind of to that point. I kind of like the idea, like let somebody sign him. You don't match it. You get your 2 first-round picks out of it.
I will say this. Can we all agree Lamar Jackson is extremely talented?
Yes.
Whether we think he's going to get max money or not, we think he's
Well,
talented.
talented as far as what? I mean, all you're looking at right now is another RG3. I'm calling it like I'm seeing it. All you're seeing is another RG3.
What has Baltimore given him to throw to? Mark Andrews.
Hollywood Brown.
They
I love the reaction.
Hang on.
But have you seen how long Lamar actually holds to stay in the pocket? 1.4 seconds.
He's throwing to pylons.
True.
Like
Look,
You brought up Hollywood.
It's an RG3.
Sammy Watkins was his leading receiver last year in the game. That's bad.
If you
They have-
don't even look to throw to your wide receivers, you're not even making your second read and you're taking off.
Hell,
Are you-
I would be
are
scared
you-
to one
are
of them
you-
guys too.
No, you're supposed to. No, you're not going through your progressions. That is the problem. And that's why Baltimore is not giving the big money. And if Lamar thinks that, oh, I'll just go check out, go ahead, test your free agent market. You think you actually have the correct skills to turn around and be an NFL quarterback right now. The running quarterback is getting beaten the hell out of. And guess what? It's not going to last much longer. It really isn't.
So
You
go
think
ahead, Baltimore.
Josh Allen's not going to be able, he's not going to be able to keep running for his life. If they don't turn around and get another left tackle, Josh Allen's in trouble next
We'll
year.
trade him to Jedrick Wills.
I agree, but at least Buffalo went and got Stephon Diggs.
True.
Touche.
I mean,
but Josh
Philly
was
got
still
AJ
running
Brown.
this year. Josh was still running this year.
Yeah, he was. That's him. I mean, that is him. And you're absolutely right. They need to fix that O line a little bit. There's
Mhm.
definitely an issue there. If Baltimore, if Lamar goes one way or another, if he's gone, whoever Baltimore brings in is still throwing to DuVernay, Bateman, Tylan Wallace,
Oh,
James
who?
Prochi, Andy Isabella. This is your wide
That's
receiving
the
core.
winner right there, Isabella.
Hey,
I mean,
hey, don't sleep on Isabella. I used to use him for my kickoff on Madden, bro. He was
Oh,
fast
Lamar
on Madden,
Jackson.
bro. He's like a 96.
But, I mean, don't get me wrong. As a fantasy owner, I loved having Mark Andrews until Lamar went down. Then it was hit and miss.
and I will say this: DuVernay was fantasy gold until he was the
Yeah.
only guy.
Right. And then everybody had a game
He
plan
got
for
to
him.
go because it's return yards. Man, that's what Duvernay, yeah. That's crazy, man. Y'all put some weapons in place. It falls on both of them. I mean, Baltimore got to do a better job of weapons, but Lamar at the same time got to do a better job taking care of his body. You can't run over everybody. It's okay to slide. It's okay to run out of bounds.
And I'm going to throw another name out there directly for you, Clint. Where's Keenan Allen go when he gets cut?
You really
Oh,
think-
God.
Because
think
he's
he's
getting
getting cut?
cut.
Really?
He's making 21 this year,
Cap casualty, huh?
and his dead hit is like 7.
Oh, yeah, he's
So
gone.
so they save like 14 million by cutting him.
And the worst part about it is this would probably be a
let's
good
get
system
out.
with Kellen Moore being there now for him. But sorry, dog, you make it too much. We gotta let you go.
Let's play the odds here with Keenan now. Let's break down the choices that he probably.
Well, if Baltimore had a quarterback, it'd be a great fit there.
First of all, make sure he spent a whole offseason getting his hamstrings in check because apparently he gonna have a hamstring injury that he's gonna say he good to play, and then 48 hours later he can't move the thing, he can't walk on it. Then it's like 5 weeks of him not playing on a hamstring.
I was gonna say I brought this up because I already have
Him and Kenny Galladay are in the same boat, bro.
Ooh, wow.
Can't go a damn show
By
without
the way,
winning.
That's
Oh,
That is harsh. That's
Wow.
really harsh.
Kenny Galladay also making $21 million a year. They're twins, bro.
No,
They're
he
twins. They're twins.
He ain't making that this year. I'm telling you right now, he ain't making that this year.
They're twinning. They're
I'm trying to think where would be a good fit for Keenan Allen, honestly. Kansas City. They need a number one.
Keep in
One
mind
thing
wherever
about
he
Keenan
goes,
Allen, I will
he's
say-
still gonna get money where he goes.
Right.
And he's a sure hand receiver as they come. He ain't the fastest guy. But
I'm gonna hate to say it. Chicago.
But they got Chase Claypool.
Okay.
wow.
hold on.
Wow.
Hold on.
That
What's the
was-
receiving unit?
Wow, that was
Baltimore
wrong.
or Chicago? Would you say Chicago probably had a worse receiving unit?
Yeah, because they don't have a tight end. Cole Kmet's finally
yeah.
starting to come along a little bit.
I was gonna say Chicago's got Mooney, but man, Mooney's not a number one. He's a great
Second for
player.
Claypool. Y'all got Inquamini and St. Brown.
All right, I'm
Yes,
going to
yes,
say
you
this,
do.
and I
You
hate
have
this.
hang on. You have the wrong St. Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Equanimous or,
Right.
but no, I hate to say this because they're in our division. Pittsburgh,
Keenan Allen.
yeah, because all you really have is Pickens, and I don't know what the status is with Deontay because I know he's been unhappy.
They gave him that contract extension though. So Pittsburgh gonna ride out with them.
Because that'd just be enough to piss us off.
I'm trying to think. I mean, you could look at a team. It gotta be a team that has some money.
Or okay, here's a good one. This guy's notorious for bringing in guys toward the end of their
I don't know.
career. New
I don't
England.
know. They're saying it's like
Mm.
Keenan's new contract contained a $26.5 million guaranteed at signing and a $43 million in total guarantees. He's
Is
not
it an injury clause in his contract?
He's not. He is under contract through 2025. So,
But you save 14 million if you cut him, and he didn't do much of anything for you this year because he was hurt. I'm not saying that's on him. He was just consistently hurt.
Oh, as a Keenan older fantasy owner, yeah, it is on him. He gets all
I
the
know.
blame. You and your hamstrings, both of them. Whichever week you feel your hamstring don't want to work, pick one.
Tell us how you really feel.
And it kills me because I say this every year. Then watch I pick him in the league next year because if he
yeah, I was going to say you're a
Hurt.
glutton for punishment, just like the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
And I hate to see it because I would have certainly picked him up this past year because that dude has won me leagues before. So
it's the same thing with Russell Wilson. That's why I couldn't fault Russ for the one bad year. I want money with Russ.
I'm still not talking about Russ right now.
It'll be okay. Hey, it might. Hey, it took me some years with Jalen Hurts. Hey,
So let me guess. In
Finally
Russ,
back on good graces.
is the Russ we trust bus a little deflated at the moment? That's on the side of the road, waiting for some service.
man, it's in a garage. It's in a garage. It's cold in Cleveland right now. It's cold. We still got snow coming on the ground. I don't think it's ready to be taken out yet. I gotta get it repaired.
I'm going to agree with Clint. It's going to be okay because I'm not going to pick him again.
Yeah, and believe me, I've already got a game plan because I had a hell of a year.
I told you, Star. We do it. I'm in a draft with you, Star, and we gonna be in some draft. Please like don't pick Keenan Allen. Hit me or something if I'm looking like I'm about to pick Keenan Allen.
I had a good year in Zolt's league with some shitty running backs. Let me tell you, when you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Devin Singletary, and then you're picking up scraps off the waiver wire all year. I was lucky to be in the championship game.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, that's no fun because every week you feel like you're just living and dying.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was for the longest time, like all season, I was so frustrated with my tight end position. And then finally, Purdy comes in and George Kittle starts going off, and that's what I needed. That's what,
Yeah, I had Josh Jacobs and then had to scramble because the Denver running back got injured early.
He was going to have a good. I think he was going to have a good year.
I was literally just
Devontae, what he was.
Those were my two guys going into this previous draft. It was okay. I can get Russ fairly late, and I can snag Javonte Williams. I just have to reach a little bit, and I reached a little bit, and I got him, and he was gone.
Yeah, I was right there with you,
dude. I'll tell you what, Zolt's league is the hardest to get free agents. Good God.
Yeah, that waiver wire thing.
That waiver wire is brutal.
It is.
Waiver wire is very
I don't know.
brutal.
Like, I think I even made the comment in there. I said, I give up on the free agent because I literally it would be like it would be me and one other guy, and that guy always was the one that was lower on. I'm like, it never fails. Never fail. I give up. I can't get nobody.
And
just can't get free agents, huh?
Just for the record, Adam's here complaining because he was at the top of the standings.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won.
I was up top for a long little while in the beginning, but
so I
had to make a comeback to get in the playoffs.
So let me guess, this was one of those things where I had a great year last year. I could expect to be at the bottom of the list this year.
I mean, who
enjoy
knows?
it while you can. Yeah, it's happened to me a lot.
I'll just say this. I mean, nobody would have predicted that all three Schroeds brothers would have been out of the playoffs.
I know.
I
my
never would have
God.
seen that coming.
There was 3 of them.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Oh, I only knew it was 2. I didn't know there was a third.
There's 3.
Yeah, there's 3 of
Um,
them, and they've
yeah,
that was a shocker that they were
Yes.
all down there.
But
I was happy about it. I'm not gonna lie.
honestly, yeah, you can sit here complain about the waiver system, but all I know is somebody's PayPal went through, so you're welcome. And just don't turn into Schroeds where
Yeah.
hey, you just won the league 3 out of 4 years, but you're going to complain about where you're drafting.
Oh no,
Shut
not,
up.
no, to me, honestly, it doesn't matter to me where I draft. It's just you just got to have. Obviously, your strategy changes depending on how low or how high you are. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think drafting really matters in fantasy, to be honest.
And just, I mean, don't get me
I
wrong.
won draft.
and-
I
and-
won,
all
I
hate
won
both-
first. I
and
won
both
last.
leagues-
I won middle.
The number
And
one
both-
pick's probably the worst pick because you got to wait so long for the next one.
I don't like. I hate the number 1 picks in fantasy drafts. I do not like them.
If
That's
you're
why every time I
drafting,
get them, I always try to trade.
there's a strategy that you have to use if you are Zolt knows. If you've got number 1, you have to use the okay. You're getting the sloppy seconds setup when you come back around for your second and third, but you've got to have a strong second and third. And if you're not looking at your strategic positioning on whatever you take as your first position, you could turn around and be in a lot of trouble when you get done with 2 and 3.
Yeah, well,
So,
believe me, I had a guy
There's a strategy to it.
in the one league I was in. I had the 9th pick, and there was a guy behind me that had the 10th and or the wraparound pick back to back. I don't know what the decision I made was, but I was so mad 'cause I was going to go Mahomes and Kelsey back to back. I forgot he was the Chiefs fan. So guess who went the next 2 picks? I'm like, I blew that because I think I ended up taking Tyreek Hill at the time. When I should, so I took one of the, I think he was either going to go Tyreek and Mahomes or Mahomes and Kelsey either way anyhow. So I at least took one of them, but it's like, damn, totally screwed up my draft board.
I'll say this about the draft, and I do sort of agree. The draft, it's important. It's not nearly as important as people make it out to be. You are not going to win your league at your draft, most likely.
No.
You can sure as hell lose it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, I mean, and that's why I hate looking at like on Yahoo's and stuff like that. They give you your draft grades because all my draft grades were like trash at C and D. And it was like, yeah, who's laughing now when I finished no worse than 3rd in all my leagues?
Right. Yeah. For mine, it always says, "Oh,
the
you're getting a big
NFL one
fat
said,
F." Oh, I'm sorry. I finished first
Right.
in all 3 freaking leagues, and I was getting 2 Fs and a D minus. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the times when I get that A+ rating, and I go, "Oh crap!"
That's when I have the bad year.
Yeah.
This team
Yeah.
sucks.
That's
If it's
literally,
saying I get an A+, I'm in trouble.
it's just a good grade just means that you drafted what they think their guys are going to do.
Right.
It's like, don't do that. Draft what you think the guys are going to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll never complain about the waiver wire again. In the
Yeah,
sleep
you
league.
will. Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you will.
I think I will never. I think I will never join those league. I think.
Oh,
I'll just-
dude. I tell you what, I'm half tempted to switch all my stuff over to Sleeper and get rid of Yahoo.
Clint, I mean, you are
Nice piece of
as soon as I
software.
have an opening, man, I'll send you an invite.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm kind of low key done with Yahoo too, bro. Yahoo kind of hurts my nerves, bro.
I gave up Yahoo years ago.
I do my
Years
fantasy
ago.
basketball on Yahoo though.
Nope.
Good.
I just can't deal with Yahoo.
I'll say this: I've got a really good
ESPN's no
group of
better
guys.
though.
I got a really good group of guys on Sleeper, and it's I would I say it's like as soon as I have an opening, I hardly ever have openings.
That's a good
I mean,
thing.
which is it's a great thing. It is a
That's a great thing. That
fantastic
mean you
thing.
do. That mean as a commissioner, that mean you on your shit. That's what that mean.
And I actually had a lot. The guys are actually like they welcome me with open arms, no problem. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's a good group of guys.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, that's why they're there. If I had guys that I had to God, if I had to go and like bring in the rule book and just be like, look, no, it's not this because of this. And it's like, no, I
Oh, you
got
mean
time
like
for
in the
that.
Ohio League?
I mean, that's how leagues get openings.
And don't get me wrong. When you are in Zolt's league compared to George's league, and you see the scoring, you're like, "Wow, that's a big difference."
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't go in with the same draft info. It's not the same.
Well, I think
No.
you said wasn't it this year? I think you or George had mentioned that this was the first time somebody hit 200 points in your league.
Yes, that's.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, what kind of score system
Yeah,
is
that was me, and believe you me, I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
You gotta
wow.
they got to come to strategy with his league.
It's-
Now you're like,
it's-
wait, so
Hey, I
Oh.
just happened to hit. Everybody just happened
Yeah.
to hit that day, and Josh Jacobs going off for like 57 points. Didn't hurt.
Right.
Along with Allen's 50 something, Diggs, 42. Yeah,
You know,
it was a hell of a
Of course,
hit.
I was doing really good until we started talking about fantasy drafts again. Because now I went on my damn belt.
I'll say this. That is not that I want to keep hyping up my league, but I'm going to.
By all means.
There was multiple weeks this year where we had matchups that were finished within a point.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
148.6 to 147.9.
Yeah.
there were a lot of close matchups.
There was
Yeah,
a
but that
lot of
just
close
makes
matchups.
good.
And then there was quite a
for
few times
yeah.
where some guys didn't even score 100 points, or sometimes guys didn't even score. I've seen one. I think one guy got 66 in 1 week. It was like,
you ain't
ooh.
gotta bring my team up.
Oh, I wasn't. Oh, was that you?
Yeah, I was
Damn it.
gonna say,
I'm sorry,
dude.
Zold. If I didn't know that, I wouldn't have said nothing.
Yeah. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, too soon.
Well, there
dude.
goes my one
Yeah.
and done for me. I'm
It
out.
was nice knowing you, Adam.
Dude,
Hey, Clint,
20
that's open.
I can't take stuff. I can't take a stop from the star. I can't do it.
towards the end of the season, I mean, scraping the bottom of the barrel does not even begin to describe what I was trying to accomplish there.
Dude, I remember at one point I was looking at the quarterbacks because I think one of mine was injured or something and it might not play. And I'm like, oh my God, there is nothing left. Like at this point, I had to write it out with like Russell Wilson at one point.
Hey,
Yeah,
I had the 1 week Russell Wilson actually went off for a game. I started him, and because I had crap on the waiver wire, and I'm like, I guess I'll roll with Russ. I guess he's better than. I want
I tried to trust him for a week.
David Mills against the Raiders that he threw for like 400.
Just realize, as bad as you feel that waiver wire is, there's been multiple years when I've tried to get the guys to go up to 12 teams, and I keep getting voted down.
I get it though, because I mean Georgia's league went to 12 for the Dueling Aces, and we all hated it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yep. It's but even with Dave's 10, if you don't have a solid third quarterback, I mean, you can sit there and you think, oh well, what the heck do you need a third? It's like, hey, you watch that injury, you watch those injuries back and forth, especially after this year. You're looking, you're going to need to once in a great while. You're looking to have a third quarterback just in case.
I think
you don't scoop anybody in that league.
Mm-mm.
Everybody knows the same thing.
Yeah.
I think the 1 year that in my league, we did 2 quarterbacks. You had to start 2. Never do it again. I'll tell you that.
No,
that was the year I had
2 quarterback leagues.
Well, I had Breeze and Roethlisberger, and both went down. So I had to make a rule because you get some of these a-holes that'll get on there and they'll want to, stockpile 4 or 5 quarterbacks. So I made a rule. You can only have 3 quarterbacks on your roster at one time for that simple reason, in case injuries happen, that you had something else to fall back.
You can set that in your options.
I did. I made sure of that. I put it in the options, like no more than 3. That's it.
2.
You're done.
2 to 3. Yeah, you have to. You would totally have to. It's like, and in Zolt's, you have a shorter bench. So you have to be very strategic. And, it's just like, okay, I'm not going to lie. My league is like playing checkers with Zolt's. You're playing chess. And you have to know your strategy, especially when it comes to, like you said, you're not really looking totally at the bye weeks. In Zolt's, you really pay attention to the bye.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
you
make
can't
up.
screw yourself.
I'll make up for my comment and throwing Zolt's team under the bus. Is I will say this: out of all the shit that went down after that Buffalo Cincinnati game, I do have a lot of respect for Zolt the way he handled it. Because there's a lot of guys that were just like, no, we're going to wait it out. Zolt saw the writing on the wall, like, this game's not going to get played. What do you guys want? Like, he specifically messaged me and the other guy. I don't remember his name offhand.
Terry,
that was in the champion. It was just the three of us. And he said, how do you guys want to handle this? We can split it. We can, figure. And so luckily we ended up splitting it. And I was quite okay with that. Like, so much respect on that end because there's a lot of other leagues.
We'll just split the money down. I mean,
right.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that mine didn't have almost no impact.
Well, no, and you did a good thing too by just having us pick a different roster for that last week. So
right,
there were some weird scenarios the way guys were trying to handle that.
Right, and like I said, that I still credit that to my brother's league when they do their post NFL playoff stuff, and that's why that works that way, because it's a lot of fun and those guys have an absolute blast as they're playing through the whole playoffs all the way through the Super Bowl. And like you guys don't know who picked who because there were a lot of similarities, and then you're only going off of these 3 or 4, but it's like,
but that is the
Mm.
one thing I did like though. You said it's anybody that you want, because some people are like, oh, you can only pick from your roster, like replace the people on your roster, something like that. But you're like, oh, you can pick from.
You pick whoever you want. Yep, and I mean, literally, you got to pick anybody, and there were so many important games, and it was just so surprising that almost everybody went with Mahomes, and it's like, well, there's some other guys who actually scored a lot better than Mahomes.
Yeah, I think when we figured it out,
I wanted to go with Kittle so bad, but I was so wishy-washy with Kittle this year. I couldn't trust him.
I think we ended up. There was only like 3 different players, and it was one wide receiver, a kicker, and a defense was the only difference.
Yeah, I think that's what it was for the Michigan League too. It was like only 3, maybe 4 different guys. That was it.
Yeah, that's how Adam got me.
I rushed mine. I'm not gonna lie, I did.
Well, like I said, but it made it real easy. Nobody really had to go through and overthink.
Of course, George tells me after the fact that once the games are over, and even though I had, we had figured out who had won and whatnot, he goes, "Do you not realize Mahomes doesn't ever play that well in Vegas?" I said, "I do now."
He ain't tell me that.
And it was funny because almost everybody was taking Mahomes, and I'm going, that is not the dude I would be picking to play in Vegas. It's just not the right guy.
Well, I know that for future reference.
As a guy that went against Mahomes all year, and every time I had to be the guy when Mahomes had one of them epic Patrick Mahomes games, I went against Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna pick Patrick Mahomes, okay, just to say and hope I get one of the Mahomes games. Hopefully,
and we did. I don't even think Kelsey got a touchdown that game.
The one guy I could never get in any league is Mahomes.
And when you picked him, he sucked.
Just taking it back to my league, like you said.
Wilson, I guess.
Yeah. Just dealing with it. I just had obviously we all had a bad feeling when that happened, but my bad feeling was along the lines of when they said that the Buffalo charter plane went home. And I'm like, oh God, we're not getting this in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so, okay. So if I remember it, I told you guys, I'm giving it until Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't have this game in or a plan to get this game in before the next games are played, I think we should just call it a draw and be done with it. Because you guys were projected to finish within what, a point and a half?
Give or take. It was close.
Yeah.
So it was. There was, to me, that was really the only way to go, and I just needed to make sure you guys were on board with it.
Yeah, because I think I had Burrow and I had 3 players in that game. And then he had a couple or something. It was just the way it worked out. It was so unreal that how close it was going to be toward the end.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, we're still talking about how the fantasy season ended just because
of one game.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, for my group, I mean, I plan on I'm going to adopt that for if something like that should happen to pop up again. That's not a bad resolution. So I definitely plan on adopting that as a norm.
I mean, it worked out because of the projection. It would have been a bit harder sell if, say, for example, somebody was projected to win by 20. Yeah, it would have been a lot harder for me to just come out and just say, hey, let's split it. But yeah, the fact that it was going to be right down to the last minute, that was going to come down to the next Tuesday when they make the adjustments. That's what that was going to come down to.
Well, I'm just glad it wasn't me in it either, because
Right.
I had Allen and Diggs, and it's just, what the hell do you do?
Yeah, I think it was Burrow and Singletary.
Yeah,
I think
there was,
in
a,
the one
there was a third one.
I think the one that with me and Adam, I think all my players were done. But I think he had Mixon and what is Cincy's kicker's name?
Tucker. I had Tucker.
No,
Oh, you had Tucker? No, who had?
no.
I know you had Mixon for sure. It probably was just Mixon. No, I think it was Mixon and Higgins. I think you had 2 Bengals.
Yeah.
left.
I don't remember that.
Left.
I had too many teams. I couldn't tell you half the players on the said teams. Now,
I was gonna
At
say,
least I won. At least I won one. I like.
well, think about it. Star and his super producer, the hype man, both won of Georgia's leagues.
Yeah, I'm happy I actually won in one of his leagues. That was kind of a quick ascension. I'm like, whoa, I won.
Yeah. Well, and wasn't it you? Who was in the championship game with Suds?
Me.
Okay, so
it was Schroed. Oh, sorry, it was in the Michigan League.
Oh wait,
it was
you talking about
Schroed's.
Michigan
it
League?
was in the Michigan League. Yeah, it was
Really?
Schroed.
Oh.
So as long as we don't got to hear Suds' mouth, I'm okay.
Well, I was gonna say, and Schroed's was like, well, it is just whatever, and it's just like, no, dude, that's not quite the way this has to work.
I kind of miss it, like
So,
seeing him on the show.
It's going to be very interesting that he gets his first official year in,
Yeah.
being back home, and somebody gets a nice, pretty belt to.
Yeah.
See,
carry
that was
around the
that
house.
was that was the thing. You couldn't do a draw because somebody has to walk away with the belt.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
'cause I got one coming from Sean's league that I was in, Uncle Traz, and then I have the one that I got to wait until we have the Patio Day
The draft.
Burridge,
Yep.
draft to get the belt in August.
That nice orange and copper.
Yeah.
Get
And
that
since-
nice one.
Cincinnati's kicker is McPherson. Or
Yeah,
McPherson.
I wanted that belt, but then I was like, you know what? Nah.
at this point though, all the kickers you think are Mr. Clutch aren't clutch anymore. They keep missing extra points like crazy, and it was a bad year for a kicker.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. it
Yeah,
was.
even Justin Tucker missed.
Oh, don't even want to talk about it. Come on, you piece of garbage.
Oh.
Okay. I gotta get through to this, and this is we're jumping right into baseball, and this was ugly.
Oh God.
And now what? He's out. They have called strike 3. Wow! This is mayhem! Oh! Automatic strike 3 called with the bases loaded in a tie game in the bottom of the 9th. This is baseball in 2023. Joe Castig said, "Can you believe it?" Here it is. He didn't have his mind.
The stupid rule of get in the box with seconds to go.
Yeah. I've seen it go both ways, where the pitcher gets, one that's he's not. He
Oh,
takes
yeah.
it long.
But I mean, this is going to get out of hand fast.
My thing
And
is,
those fans were ready to jump the wall and kill the umpire.
my thing
and
is, as
That
a
is not going to go well. And we're only in the spring games. And if they're ready to jump the walls and beat the hell out of the umpire now,
yeah, because what happens if it's a do or die game and it's, to get to the playoffs or win a playoff series or something, and a stupid rule like that's going to cost you the series?
I want to see this in a wild card game.
I don't.
Oh my god! Oh
Because
my
you know
god!
damn well,
I want to see the World
it'll be
Series.
Cleveland.
I don't see the World Series.
No, just in any game that is literally going to make or break you from getting into the playoffs, and you're going to have this go down because
Well,
of you've got that umpire watching that clock versus watching the guy at the same time. You
No,
can't
because
watch both.
I don't
You
like the
can't.
idea. I don't like the idea of a playoff or anything like that because you know damn well it'll end up being the Guardians, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, the typical Cleveland, typical." I can already see. I can already see the memes getting made for it. I don't want to see that. You know what I mean?
Leave the Cleveland to lose 2 o'clock again.
Yeah,
Oh god.
I just don't understand why they're trying to rush the game along.
I don't know what millennial asshole thought of this, but they need to be shot.
It's legit them trying to get people to games to watch games because the games are too long.
But the true fans don't mind the long game, though.
There's fewer and fewer of them.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
true.
this is
Yeah,
gonna
sorry,
make.
I'm
this is
sorry.
gonna
I'm
be
one of
worse.
those guys. I don't like watching 4-hour baseball games.
If it's a pitcher's duel, I love those.
I don't mind going to them if I'm there. I'll watch, but if I'm like on a computer, no.
Pitchers duels don't usually take that long because nobody's scoring.
Right.
I like homers. I like shootout games. I like games where it's like 15, 14, where teams just popping up runs and runs and runs. It's like score. That's how I am with baseball. I ain't really big fan of pitcher duels. Pitcher duels to me kind of just put me to sleep. Even though it is like one of the best things to do, but they put me to sleep though.
No, this is there.
I'm
There
an
was
offense guy.
never a time limit set up, and this is taking away from the game. You're now making baseball a timed game where it never was before. It was the uniqueness of baseball that there was no time established. You never had to have a clock. This literally, you just turn around and you just handcuffed baseball. And this is the second one within a week. This is the second one within a week. This is going to be so ugly this year. It's not going to go well.
Okay, hang on. But let's just
you get.
NFL does this every year where something is a point of emphasis. And in the preseason and maybe even week 1 or 2, you see so many calls and you're just like, this is not going to work. This is stupid. But teams adjust, players adjust, they learn, they make it work. Hope to God that's what actually happens, because otherwise there's going to be riots.
Yeah, I was going to say baseball. You want to see baseball ratings plummet below hockey?
Oh, they I thought they was already low.
Marble racing will bypass baseball.
Yeah, marble racing.
We're gonna get that. We're gonna get the fantasy football bypassing baseball.
Are we really
Now
want
we're
marble
talking.
racing again? Seriously?
Oh yeah, we're going. Yeah, we're going.
The
Hey,
USF.
I
USFL
gotta bring it
draft.
for Sunday.
Go watch
Yep.
pickle. We're gonna watch the slap league. That's what we're gonna watch.
The slap league.
Oh,
Nice.
there's a lot of people that are watching it, though.
Hey, bravo! I like that one, Clint. I like that one. All right.
To be fair, like a couple months ago, I did see it was a streamer thing. A lot of people that stream is like it's chess boxing, and that was interesting.
Chess
Wait, what?
boxing.
It's okay. So it's 7 rounds, and you alternate rounds. You start with you're doing a round of chess, and then when the timer's up, you do a round of boxing, and then you go back to the chessboard, and then you go back to boxing.
Oh my God.
It was
my
interesting.
God.
It's so funny to watch.
It's in Berlin. Wait, what?
You have the
Hold
old
on.
chest there. You got the old chest there.
And seriously, I mean, it's
Dude,
Don't say I can't move my king there. And they just start
the one.
Look,
Literally, yeah.
look at it.
Oh Lord.
Look at
And
this.
do they seriously leave the chessboard and the table in the ring?
No, it's on pulleys. It elevates above
Oh,
when it's time for it. Just goes straight up. Like
That
The shit,
is
the shit
nuts.
they come up with, I
And for
swear.
oh Lord, yeah,
And
it
it's-
just
You
it's-
thought you'd seen it all.
it's competitive chess, so it's there's time. There's I think a 5-minute counter total for a chess match. So every time you move, you're hitting the button to stop your timer and start your opponents.
Wow.
Honestly, the article that's right there, the gamer chess boxing event, hooked me on the sport. That was literally the match I was watching because I know the one YouTube guy. I watch his stuff, so it was interesting. I mean, it was definitely like one guy was definitely the chess guy, the other guy was definitely the boxer, but you still have to be able to do both. And the chess guy, though he won, he screwed up in like the third round of chess. He literally just threw his queen away because you know what? He got a solid punch landed on him in the last boxing one, and he goes to the chessboard and just messes up.
Ooh.
It was interesting. I'm
I
not
might
saying I'm
actually-
going to sit there and watch it all the time.
Well,
but
that's
it
one of
was
those things that
Hey, I was
we're
going to say
scrolling through
versus
it.
baseball, this could get interest. This could be interesting.
you know what this is. I'm gonna
A
be
guilty
honest.
pleasure.
No, I'm gonna be honest because, and I feel like I can say this because I was a jock in school who was playing with nerds occasionally. This is a way for nerds to feel good about themselves, knowing that they can't beat you with nothing physical, but they can at least like, well, I made an effort to try. We got this. This what it is.
It's
Like I don't know a thing about chess, but once that round comes by, I'll tear you up in a bob. When we get back to the chessboard, I'm like, I don't know.
go ahead, make that move because I'm gonna bust your ass when we get back in the ring.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that.
Tell me which way. Tell me where I put this at. Put it right here. Don't lie to me. Like
It would make it even
Okay.
better if you would let them trash talk at the chess table too. Like I swear to God, you better not move that queen. Don't you move that
Oh.
queen?
Like I said,
that's how I be at the slap league, though. The one dude in slap league,
yeah.
like little skin dude, he came up to one dude like, "Hey man, here you gonna need this. Bought him a pillow." He's like, "Yeah," and then first slap, boom, dude, drop. I'm like, "Oh my god."
Night night.
The chess part of it, earplugs with noise canceling headphones over top of it, so nobody in the crowd can yell a move to you or anything like that.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Cause chess is a quiet game, ain't it? Basically,
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's crazy though. I want to watch that now.
We're all gonna go.
I don't play. I don't know nothing about chess. I just want to just see how like it works.
Yeah,
I
there's-
do. And I've been teaching Brace how to play. Brace isn't a bad
Like, who
player
wins more, the
either.
nerds or the boxer guy? Like, who had the
There was-
higher win percentage?
there was there was, I want to say there was like 7 or 8 matches on the card. There was definitely a match where guy got knocked out on like the 3rd punch thrown. It was just straight up. It's like, nope, you weren't ready for this part.
Stick to the chessboard, buddy.
Right?
So it ends with somebody get knocked out, basically, or when it goes 7 rounds.
It can go the 7th. Well, the 7th round is chess. So, and with the chess being timed, somebody, if you're going all the way to the end, somebody's going to run out of time in the chess. So I don't think there's such a thing as a
knocking your
decision.
opponent out before the 7th
That mean I
round.
can kick. That basically mean I can kick your ass and still lose, huh?
Yes, you can.
See, that's a game for nerds. They still
It is.
win
No.
and lose.
No.
You have to have some kind of athleticism. You have
This-
to.
This
Yeah,
was
true.
actually started in London in the late 70s, and it was first coined in the 1979 kung fu movie Mystery of Chess Boxing. It's a Chinese variant of chess.
How much you want to bet? Late 70s in London, it was bare knuckled.
Oh, guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh. Mm.
And they probably went out and had a pint afterwards.
I was gonna say blood all over the board.
During
Blood all over the board.
I was trying to get it for the benefit of the doubt, but back then you
Nope.
probably might be right.
Yeah.
Drink a pint, throw a punch.
They'll drink,
Wow.
yeah. Go right back to brawling at the bar, like, hey, yeah. That's a wicked punch you landed on me. It was a little soft. He get mad. What? And like, oh god, they're fighting again. That's the one thing about Irish people, though. When you go to a bar and two people fight for some real reason, they all fight.
And
It's
you
like
can
it's
be
contagious. You could be sitting there not having nothing to do with it, but then all of a sudden you're fighting somebody. I'm not
you
Irish
can
at all, but I'm
you,
just there fighting somebody now.
You're Irish now.
Yeah.
it says here
Yeah.
a disqualification of one fighter by the referee following multiple warnings for extended inactivity overextended the playing time in the chess match.
That's probably
So
dude that
if
got
you
robbed.
don't move fast enough in your chess match, you can actually lose the match on a disqualification.
Yeah, you have 5 minutes. Each person has 5 minutes. So if you're there thinking about your movement, your clock is going down the entire time. As soon as you finish your move, you hit the button and the other person's clock starts.
Right.
So it's not
I've
just
played time
outthinking.
and-
Yeah, it's
right.
It's not
I'm
just
playing the
outthinking
time.
the opponent. It's doing it fast.
I want
Well,
one of those
and
controversial
that's-
games. Where somebody
And
goes
that's one
after
of
the
those
ref.
things that if you for those who play chess or have played chess, the thing is you have your next 3 moves technically.
George
Yeah,
about to
made
explain
up.
chess. Oh Lord.
Yeah, you already have your next 3 moves lined up.
All right, this might get me muted, but Clint, look at George. He's the he's the poster child for chess players.
You did just barely give an explanation of like, well, your next 3 moves, you should be talking about. I don't play
I
chess. I never played chess. I don't want to play chess.
After
Ever.
the
Ever,
last
okay?
5 minutes, I don't want
I am not
anybody
sup-
complaining about fan controlled football again.
What are you talking about? I would never.
Never. I mean, hell, y'all had a dude that literally was talking about who literally in the middle of the game smoked a blunt, like in the middle of the game.
You know
He's
what's
a
going to happen
hero.
now that
He's a
now
hero.
now that Zolt said that. I'm going to be that guy in the chat going to complain and then delete, and go to say something. Nope, delete. I just nope. I'm just going to let it go.
We hit all
I
the
will never,
here,
ever
folks.
play
We hit
chess.
all of them.
Yeah,
Ever.
we
But never will. Sorry. Sign me up for the punching part, but not the playing chess part.
all right. We're gonna let Mr. Zolt wrap this up, and then we are out of here.
Okay. Cool. And sorry, if y'all don't mind, I'm muting all of you. So I got a couple things I want to say. I got to get to them first, so please bear with me. It's going to take a minute. So a week ago today, lost a member of my family. My cousin and her husband lost their 19-year-old son. Obviously left behind a grieving set of parents, a devastated twin brother, and grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, dozens and dozens and dozens of friends. The reason I bring it up is the day after a GoFundMe was set up, I shared it. First thing I want to say is, number one, thank you, George, for sharing that. I greatly appreciate that. You have a much bigger reach than I do. And I just wanted to come on here and actually say thank you for doing that. Number two is, just in case anybody that watches us, listens to us, catches us later, happened to see that and donated, whether you were anonymous or not, can't thank you enough. Obviously, you know, it's been pretty rough. It's going to be. But y'all helped out a lot. So that being said, I just want to close with world kind of sucks. We all got each other. So we all just need to hang in there. And that's all I got.